Okay, so we're in 1992. My friend Louise, her parents invited us out for lunch. We were students. You always say yes to lunch, don't you, as a student? Anyway, they took us here, which was the Park Hotel. Since rebranded, I see, but this was the poshest hotel in Cardiff, and it had the poshest restaurant. The restaurant was so posh, in fact, sitting in the corner was one of the biggest stars in the world at the time, Anthony Hopkins. And Louise and I sat down. She was working at Guy Reeve. I was doing some work for the BBC, and we both thought we've got to ask for an interview, and we were too scared. Basically, we didn't want to disturb his lunch, and why would he take an interview from us? So this was at a time when Silence of the Lambs, which is probably his biggest film ever, had just gone stratospheric. He was pretty much the biggest Hollywood star in the world at the time, and he was sitting here, and he was notoriously low profile, so he hadn't done any interviews for months, and no one really knew where he was, and we had obviously discovered that he was lying low, or trying to lie low, in Wales. So we basically left him to his lunch, and we walked off, and then as we walked off, we both said we should give it another go. So we went back in and left a note for him at reception, asking for an interview. Not expecting him to even read the note, because, as I say, every network in the world wanted an interview with Anthony Hopkins, and why would he give it to a couple of students saying, we're aspiring students and you would really help if you gave us an interview. Anyway, we didn't hear anything back. And then the following year, in the January, I was at my student house, a real hole in Caerdydd Terrace, and this very envelope landed on the floor. I'll show you what's in it. So, it says, the Park Hotel. Dear Max and Louise, this is 1993, which is horrific. Anyway, thank you for your letter. You will be able to, I will be able to give you an interview, but not right now. I'll be coming to Cardiff about the 22nd of February to make a film in the Rhondda, and I'll be staying in this hotel. He said, get in touch, we'll fix something up. And we did. We did an interview, which is hilarious, really. So this is the room we did the interview in. The grandness. This was Hopkins's suite, I think. He basically said, come into my suite. And then I've got the moment he comes into the room. I haven't looked at these photos for so long. So in he comes to the suite. Sorry. And that's me looking a lot younger with curtains. Don't need to dwell on that. So we did the interview, and he was lovely, and he basically, we asked terrible questions, but he knew what we wanted, so he basically gave us all these lines about the next Silence of the Lambs and stuff, and it made headlines across the BBC and in newspapers sort of around the world, and that was really when I stopped sort of aspiring to be a journalist and became one, really. It made me realise I could be one, and it was all because he gave us a chance. It was the interview everyone wanted, and he gave it to a couple of students, which is pretty amazing, really.